Jayamudhavalavaguntanavadim Tejomayim Naishtikim Snigdha Pangavilokinim Bhagavatim Mandasmita Shri Mukhim Vatsalyamritavarshinim Sumadhuram Sankirtanalapinim Shyamangim Madhusikta Suktim Amritanandatmikam Ishwari. Om Amriteshwariye Namaha. I bow down to our most beloved Amma, our precious Amma, as well as to all those listening to these words. I'm very happy to be connecting with you today, brothers and sisters around the world. I hope and pray that everything is going well for you, that you are able to maintain a peaceful heart, and that Amma's light stays with you in this challenging and maybe for some of you this difficult time. I came in Puri on the 5th of March to receive Sannyas Diksha, the initiation for renunciation, from Amma, with 50 of my brothers and sisters here, and more than 200 children of Amma received the initiation of Brahmacharya. What a timing, and what a ceremony. Only this gives us a glimpse of Amma's infinite wisdom. And none of us in charge of the different branches of and ashrams in India or abroad, none of us could go back. We are all here since. I had planned to go back to France after 1 week. Of course, I had programs, meetings, but I am still here. All the plans, all the organizations has disappeared in the Akasha. Like for you, confined. Life has taken an unforeseen and unexpected turn. Amma is here in Amritapuri, and as always, she is doing everything possible to give, while scrupulously following the imposed instructions. My personal sense, my personal feeling is that Amma has taken that opportunity to be in Guru Bhava. I would even say sometimes in Kali Bhava, meaning that she is continuously insisting on discipline, obedience, and on spiritual practices and teachings. At the same time, there is always, as usual with Amma, softness and humor following the stick. For example, since 1 week about, she is leading us in a sort of gymnastic exercises after bhajans, where she's leading us, she's doing the movement, and she's just totally so cute that she brings joy to everyone. Have you read her 3 messages, which are available on your websites? And we all have also access to the Satsangs, either live or recorded, from the Swamis, Swaminis, who are here in Amritapuri. This is something new. And in non-English speaking countries, all the messages and satsangs are translated in the respective national languages. Many countries have also organized some activities like bhajans, live, archana meditation that everybody can see in the country, meditation, also hotlines, making masks, not just for devotees but for everyone who needs it. All of this is so that each one of us in this unusual and challenging situation, so that we can maintain and nourish our link. We can nourish our confidence, our inner strength, even our enthusiasm, and to stay in good spirits. Remember, we are children of the Divine Mother. We are children of God, of life, of the supreme power, Parashakti. Amma tells us that confidence is like a car battery. Imagine a car which has been filled up with fuel but has a flat battery. It won't work. It cannot move forward. Let us not let worry or negativity make our batteries go flat. On the contrary, let us charge our batteries through our practices, through our service to others, whatever we are, through our positive attitude, our understanding of the teachings, our peace and inner light. Amma said, during this time when the entire world is reeling in the darkness of the COVID-19 pandemic, let each of us come together to light the lamp of hope, compassion, and unity. The virus is filling us internally and externally with the poison of fear and anxiety. To destroy it, we have to ignite our inner flame, our inner light. Let us light the lamp of new life, the light of goodness, the light of knowledge that dispels the darkness of ignorance. Let us eliminate this poison with the panacea of right action and right thinking at the right time. This was a part of Amma's teachings. So this confidence that Amma compares to a car battery is not confidence in the ego or from the ego, which believes itself to be the master. I think it would be a little comic from the ego to pretend that right now. The ego is totally undermined and has no option but to bow down. But it is a confidence in life, in the incredible intelligence of life, in the love of life. It is a trust that comes from our connection with that which is beyond, because that's where power and strength come from. Our connection with Amma. And this confidence is also a letting go, a surrender. It is a yes to what is, a yes that prevents any energy loss to conflict with the reality of what is. It is a confidence that comes from humility, from simplicity, not from arrogance. It is a trust that comes from our bond. We are all links in the same chain, beads on the same thread, children of the Divine Mother. Not confidence that comes from separation or from the belief that, oh, I am strong, I am stronger than you, I am the best. This confidence is also the humility of acceptance, not the humility of a victim. The victim submits, I have no choice, I have to admit. Acceptance is not the submission of a victim, no. Rather, it is a full embrace of the present moment with the facts, what is real, what is, so that we are not in conflict with reality. So it's also a surrender to the constraints, accepting them, following the instructions, Amma tells us to, as painful as they are, for our safety and for that of others. A mature and responsible attitude. Through this pandemic, we are face to face with the very nature of human existence in a pretty intense way. As Amma so often tells us, even our next breath is not in our hands. For sure, this makes the ego very insecure. But it is as if, after all the warnings that nature gave us, it seemed that we remained deaf. So nature, life, is now shouting at us and imposing on us, stop. It's not even anymore a question of compromise, of slowing down, of sustainable development, of new ways. No. Stop. Halt. I think there were many of us who saw that things cannot carry on like this. But how to stop? I'll share with you a text I recently received from a priest in Bordeaux, south of France. Between all the text videos that go around, emails, Facebook, WhatsApp. Here is the beginning of the text. This world, thrown like a racing car in its mad rush, this world, which all of us knew was racing towards its doom, but which no one could find the emergency brake. This huge machine has been abruptly stopped, all because of a small bug, a tiny parasite invisible to the naked eye, a small nothing of a virus. How ironic. And now here we are, since more than 1 month, unable to move, confined. But what is going to happen after, when the world tries to start up again? In this satsang, I want to outline how we could maximize these days of confinement as they stretch out in front of us. I see two key areas. First, live each moment fully and consciously. Second, understand our past mistakes and reflect on the changes we need to make. Let's start with the first. Live each moment fully and consciously. Fully and completely, what does it mean? It means to welcome everything, the agreeable and the disagreeable, the pleasant and the unpleasant, without choosing, without denying what comes, accepting, welcoming. Normally, we welcome only what suits us, what we like, and we reject what we don't like. This is not a spiritual attitude. And frankly speaking, I would even say it is not an intelligent attitude. Why? Since life is, by its very nature, made of ups and downs, highs and lows, if we reject what does not suit us, we reject half of life itself. We don't take into account everything life has to offer us to discover the mysteries of life, the inner peace, the everlasting joy. Suppose, for example, you are trying to solve a problem in physics and chemistry. if you fail to take into consideration half of the data of the problem, and if you don't take into consideration the laws of the physics, you will never find the solution of the problem. And worse of it, actually, if you find a solution, it will be a wrong one, which might have some bad consequences. So let us welcome all the data with an open mind, the mind of a seeker, a mind of an explorer. Everything that comes our way, the fears, the weariness, the fatigue, the boredom, the sadness, the difficulties, and of course also the pleasures, the joys, softness, relaxation, beauty, and so on. Yes, yes, life is giving me this now. Yes, yes, I take it. Life is giving me that now. Yes, I take it too. Let us divert our greediness tendency to take, to have, to own, to possess, to accumulate, our greediness. Let us divert it towards an eagerness for what life has in store for us at each moment. Let us take what life is offering us, all of it. If you look, actually, we don't have choice. What life presents to you, and only you, specially for you, not to anyone else, not to any other people. Be yourself, be established in yourself, have your personal relationship with life, and take care of what is yours. Be yourself, everyone else is already taken. Welcome each moment, accept your lot, with eagerness and enthusiasm. Now the question is, but who is welcoming? Who is accepting? Who is it who welcomes the highs and lows, the ups and downs, with the same heart, with eagerness? It is not the wounded child within us. The wounded child which is lost, who is desperately searching for love. Not. He cannot accept everything. It is not the insecure ego who wants to control everything. The ego will just accept what he likes, what suits him. Usually, they reject, what they don't like, what makes them suffer. They separate yes and no. So who welcomes? This is another level of consciousness that is there within each of us already. We don't have to find it somewhere outside. It is already there inside of us. Another level of consciousness, which we can call the witness, the disciple, the true devotee, the sage within us, the clarity, the buddhi, which sees what is with an open heart, without judgment, without preference. A level of consciousness which, as Amma says in her meditation, is as vast as the universe. So, for all of you listening, for each of you, it might be received or perceived in a very different way. Either you are already familiar with this kind of what we call the witness attitude, the Sakshi bhava, through your practices, the witness, the observer, the presence, or you are not familiar with it. And this may be the moment to discover this deeper level within you. This level which is always relaxed and confident. This level which can welcome every situation all emotions, any conflict, without even first trying to resolve anything, without trying even to understand, just simply welcoming what is. This level of the witness is here, right now, in every moment. It's already there within us. In the actual situation, the ego is not in control. It is constrained, confined. It is no longer free. It has lost its bearings, lost its foothold. Observe. Take a step back. Listen to what is inside you. Become aware what is going on inside in the actual situation, but without getting caught up in it. That which listens without fear, without choice, without preference, that is the witness. If it helps, imagine that everything that is happening to you and what you are going through is happening to your best friend. And you listen to him or her with empathy, with kindness. But it's your friend, it's not you. So you have a little distance. You are not affected the same way. So this can give you maybe some clarity about what is the witness with a little distance, with interest, but no identification. There is a short story that can illustrate this identification. In a village, there is a house on fire. Panicked, a man races to put it out, and he calls out for help. All the neighbors, please, please, help me. The house is on fire. One neighbor says to him, no need to panic like that. You know, your son sold the house yesterday. It's not such a big deal. We will take care. Oh, replies the man. Oh, my son sold it finally. And he relaxes. He carries on helping a little, put out the flame, but not anymore so concerned. The son arrives. He sees his dad relaxed, and he shouts, "Hey, Dad, can't you see? It's burning down. Get going." Yes, but we sold it, no? No, in the end, the sale fell through at the last minute. And the father panics again, starting to rush again with fear and worry. This little story is just to show how identification works. Identification to something external and the dependency that comes with it. Now we can imagine another attitude than the two in the story. We can imagine a detached but yet responsible person, someone who sees the fire starting and who responds in the appropriate way, doing everything to put it out, but without panicking, like the one who was panicking when he thought, because he thought it was his house and he was identified with his house, so he was panicking. But also not without the indifference, because you don't care anymore because it's not your house. Both attitudes are ego-centered. But to be responsible, at the same time being detached, this is not ego-centered. So in order to welcome everything that comes our way with the same level of interest, without being carried away. The only way is to go beyond the duality of I like, I don't like, the likes and dislikes. Let us forget this duality, which can be a real poison. But when I say let us forget this duality, we cannot do it like that. So rather than forgetting, let us try to put it in the background, because forgetting is not that easy and also requires quite a lot of understanding and training and skills. So let us just try not give the prime importance to this job of sorting between what I like and what I don't like, and instead stand with a wider perspective, with a little distance, less ego-centered, less limited, broad. Stand first at the level of what simply is, before qualifying anything. This is the level of the witness. To be separated from what I like is suffering. To be associated with what I don't like is suffering, said the Buddha. As long as we are identified at that level, it means as long as we live preoccupied with our likes and dislikes, we will only live with tension, with fear, the fear to lose what I like. We live in conflict because I am having what I don't like forced on me. We will live feeling that we have to do so much effort to struggle against what I don't like and to obtain what I do like. Waiting and hoping that things become how I want them, hoping that this confinement ends, that this pandemic is defeated in 1 month, and what if it does not turn out that way? You can see that to live like that, it's a permanent struggle, a permanent emotional yes and no. It is exhausting. No peace. So let's try, let's practice, not expect anything other than what life offers us, nor concern ourselves with anything other than what life presents us with from one moment to the next moment, so we can be fully in the moment, second by second, unified, one with. From unity comes peace. It's the title of one of Amma's speeches. What is life offering me right now that is unique, that will never look the same again? So I should not miss it. Can I live it to the fullest, simply welcoming it, just because it is what is coming, what is there? It is mine to live. What is Sat? There is nothing else. Everything else is Asat. What is Sat. Everything else does not exist is Asat. Asatoma, Satgamaya. From what is not there, lead me to what is there. So to welcome eagerly, with love, the present moment. Would say to embrace the present moment, to give darshan to the present moment, or to receive the present moment like we receive Amma's darshan, a full embrace. If we can do that, the result will be full happiness, disparition of fear. You might be thinking it's easy for Swamini to say she's with Amma in Puri. Yes, in a completely unexpected way, life has put me here. But is it that easy? I left everything in France, thinking I will come back in a few days. I also left my 94 years old mother, paralyzed, totally dependent, at home, fortunately, but alone 3/4 of the time, alone at night, with my sister and brother-in-law, who go back and forth as much as they can, who have to deal with the mental burden of the caregivers, who are sometimes overwhelmed. Many of you, I am sure, have a loved one who is maybe vulnerable, separated from you, who is asking for you would like to be with. It is heartbreaking. Let us have trust. Let us phone, of course. Let us keep in touch. Let us pray. And what else can we do? Just letting go of what is not in my power. I don't let my mind and thoughts overcome me with sadness, with fear, with guilt. But I open my heart to reality, to what is, without any negativity. Om, yes. Here, we can't get near Amma. No public darshan, of course. Amma comes for meditation and bhajans, and it is wonderful. The rest of the time, we are confined in our home. I live about 18 hours a day in a 6 square meter room in the heat. And believe me, for me, the nights at 30 degrees are really not my cup of tea. It is forbidden to go to the ocean. We have to eat in our rooms. So I can start, it's just to give examples. If I were in the French ashram with a big open space, the fields, the spring season, the flowers, the birds, 20 degrees, even maybe less. If I start like this, I could make myself suffer. I could create a division, a conflict. No, just what is not, let it go. Don't harbor thoughts of what is not. And here, for example, we can do pradakshina of the Kali temple in the mornings, meaning we can go around the temples. We pass in front of Amma's room, and we go back and all around the temple. So, this is something that is possible here, that is given here. So, I would say I take it, I say yes to it. I don't ask for what is not available here and now, but I take what is available. And it is a beautiful experience. So, is this okay with you? It's just some examples that I am taking, but can you apply this in your own situation? Let's be smart. Have a little common sense. Let's be one with what is. Let's not waste our energy making impossible demands. You know, we make an impossible request. We want something else which is not impossible. And then we complain and we get depressed. What a mechanism. On the contrary, let us use the energy to make the most of the situation, whatever it is. Be creative, be open, be adaptable, enthusiastic even. Smile, like Amma says. Remember the serenity prayer that Swami Shubamritananda talked also about. This is like a mantra. This is a powerful prayer containing the whole of the path. The prayer says, God or the Supreme Power or Amma, give me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So, the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. You know, you can say, if I cannot change something, it is so stupid not to accept it. I have no choice. But it's not always easy. So that's why the prayer gives me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. But there are things we can change. But sometimes, you know, it needs so much effort. We are not very dynamic. That's why give me the courage to change the things I can. And the difficulty might be to see the difference between the two. Can I change something? Maybe, maybe not. So the wisdom to know the difference. To summarize this part of the talk, I would say practice. Not only the archana, the bhajans, meditation, but practice every moment. This is what we really call living in the present. Practice, yes, welcoming every moment, being open to what life has to offer. And practice hunting down negative thoughts. You know, the thoughts we say, it should not be like that. This should not have happened. Hunting down all these thoughts. It's just taking energy. You know, we become good at what we practice. Practice makes us competent, skillful. From practice, we become an expert, and things become easier and easier. Every practice. So be careful what you practice. Be careful not to practice worrying. Otherwise, you will become very good at worrying yourself and all those around you. Be careful not to practice grumbling. Otherwise, you will become an expert in grumbling, and you will find all the good reason, you know, to complain in any situation. We know people like that. No, don't practice that. Practice now, always. Always when you remember, as frequently as possible, practice welcoming any situation life is offering you. Meaning unpleasant, unpleasant. Accept everything and try to see it before even separating life between pleasant and unpleasant. This is full life. Then you will have a full life and not a half life. So live fully the present moment. So now for the second part. Understanding past mistakes, past errors, and reflect on necessary changes. To draw the lessons from this current drama, I would like to address the concept of Dharma that is so important in Hinduism, which is also called Sanatana Dharma, which can be translated in many ways. We can take universal harmony. Dharma is that which supports, that which sustains, from the root dr, to support. Dharma is what allows this mysterious, marvelous world, this incredible universe to exist. It is the laws of physics, of astrophysics, quantum mechanics, laws such as gravity, which were not invented by humans. They were just discovered. These laws existed before humans came into existence. See, for a seed to grow, you need the rain, you need the sun, you need the fertility of the soil. Dharma is also about all this balance, this harmony, the invisible and subtle forces in balance, so that all what we have around exists, works, there is some stability, there is harmonious unfoldment. The eternal laws, the laws of the universe, were not made by human beings. They are intrinsic to nature, to the beauty of the balance and the balance of nature. And the role of human beings is to respect them, to protect them. According to the laws of Manu, which is a fundamental text in India, there is this sentence: destroyed, Dharma destroys. Protected, it protects. We will come back to it. Let's look at nature. The rain gives us water without taking any for itself. The tree gives us fruits without taking any for itself. The earth is overflowing with abundance, with wild edible plants, medicinal herbs for us. The medicinal herbs is not for the soil, it's to take care of us. The diversity of the animal kingdom is miraculously intelligent and in perfect balance with the laws of nature. Our planet gives us the air that we need to breathe 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and so on. Everything is given, given, given. I remember the ex-president of India, Abdul Kalam, who came to inaugurate the bridge, the Setu bridge, which was constructed after the tsunami here by Amma. And Abdul Kalam said, Dr. Abdul Kalam said, what I learned here in Puri is give, give, give. If you see, everything in nature is given with pure altruism. And what we do, we take, we take. We take as if it is due to us, without the slightest gratitude, even with violence, with a kind of pathological greed for more and more and more. The ego never stops wanting to transform nature, to manipulate her, exploit her, to be the master, wanting, without seeing the wonders that are offered to us. And this greed, which in fact is a kind of thirst for the absolute. But this greed is blind, with a total ignorance of the laws of giving and receiving, the laws of balance, of harmony. So we have stopped respecting Dharma, the harmonious balance of the laws of the world. We have created a dreadful imbalance. We have polluted the water offered, we have polluted the land offered, we have polluted the air offered, we have polluted the food offered, we martyred animals with unimaginable cruelty. And what can we say about our Dharma as human beings towards our brothers and sisters, towards our fellow human beings? Here is where we were at. That was the situation at the beginning of 2020. As the threat of coronavirus shakes the world, researchers are drawing our attention to another curse, a curse that they consider to have more impact than wars, malaria, AIDS, smoking, and so on. This curse is air pollution. It shortens life expectancy by an average of 3 years around the world. Pollution causes 9 million of premature deaths every year. The air that is supposed to keep us alive is killing us. In the same way, water is making us sick. The food that is supposed to feed us is poisoning us. You know maybe one of the ironies of the famous ecologist, French ecologist Pierre Rabhi, before having food, instead of saying, enjoy your meal, you can say, good luck. So we have destroyed the Dharma. Dharma has been destroyed. Destroyed, Dharma destroyed. Destroyed, Dharma destroys. Protected, it protects, according to Manu. So, was not it necessary for something drastic to happen as quickly as possible to wake us up? The planet was suffocating, dying, bled dry. We did not protect it. The one who gives us everything, like a perfect loving mother. We have plundered her, we have exhausted her, tortured, make her sick, left her in a pitiful state. So, here is her answer. To prevent herself from dying and dragging us down with her, she had to act. From the point of view of nature, the COVID-19 is a radical way for recovery, for healing. From the point of view of nature, it is a blessing. The current situation from human point of view is terrible. It is a curse. But who knows? Maybe it is avoiding a worse situation, the one we were heading towards, because of the powerlessness of those who wanted to stop, and because of the greed and blindness of those who wanted to continue. As I said, the planet being sick, we humans are affected. And if the planet is dying, we would also be dying. There is no healthy people on a sick planet, was the WWF's cry of alarm over the coronavirus. So let's take some time to reflect, to see and acknowledge how we got here, what mechanisms worked and lead us to this dangerous and balanced situation. Let us introspect during this time of confinement to see our errors, our mistakes, our wrong ways, so that to avoid making the same mistakes after. And for those of us who have the great fortune to know Amma, let us listen to her messages. Amma has no ego, no likes and dislikes, no fear. Her words are not opinions, they are pure truth. So let us listen to her words. Let us try to deepen them, to understand them better. All her words, not just the ones we like, but also and especially the ones that bother us, that make us react. How lucky we are. Let us not waste our time discussing opinions, going from fake news to fake news, from partial and biased information, from speeches of the right, of the left, from Facebook to WhatsApp. Let us also stop this bulimia of external connections to fill our inner emptiness or to distract us from our discomfort. No, Amma tells us this is the worst kind of pollution, the pollution of our minds. Instead, let us dive within. Let us take the opportunity in which we are now to look inside, to turn inside, to dive within. All the answers are there. Let us rediscover the vast and rich meaning of Dharma. Let us regain our dignity as human beings, not the dignity of the ego. Regain our nobility of heart, our strength, our integrity, our values, our connection to nature and to what is beyond. Let us regain and live our humanity, regain and live our divinity. That is what we can and must do during this period of confinement. I will stop here. I have only touched on the second part, but each of us must first reflect to go further. We must give ourselves time to revisit the meaning and purpose we have given to our lives. We have and we will have a lot to do, to change, to reorganize ourselves, maybe to survive. Let's be ready. In her message, Amma tells us, courage is the main quality. If you have courage, you can overcome anything. Therefore, abandon fear and gather your courage. The antivirus that can kill this virus is courage. Courage is the antivirus of our mind. So, let's face reality, be brave, with courage, with the attitude of a witness. I wish you courage and, remember, serenity to accept what we cannot change, courage to change what we can change, and wisdom to see, to know the difference. And remember, Amma's grace is there. We all bathe in it. It envelopes us. Amma is with you. You are in her heart. She's in your heart, and everyone, we are in her heart. She told us this again recently. Thank you for your attention. I hope you can find something that helps and supports you in this sharing. Keep well and take care of everyone around you. To finish this talk, I would like that together we chant the peace mantra, the mantra which also pray for all the beings of the universe to find happiness inside and peace. And remember also, when we chant, we will chant it 9 times. When we chant this mantra, we can visualize a flower of peace, white flower of peace, falling onto the earth, every part of the earth, the ocean, the mountains, the forest, the animals, and on everybody and on your own head, and feel peace and joy inside with this prayer, and wishing that everybody can find peace, whatever the situation is, and joy. Loka samastaha sukhino bhavantu. 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 Loka samastah sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.